रामदेव, योर ओन कंपनी हैज़ बीन डूइंग वेरी वेल. अगर हम एनबीएफसी स्पेस की बात करें तो इस पर आपका व्यू क्या है? बिकॉज लेटली एटलीस्ट मार्केट्स हैव क्लियरली प्रेफर्ड एनबीएफसीज ओवर द बैंकिंग स्पेस.
We are positive. I mean, in housing side, demand is good. You have to decide your niche, where exactly you want to position yourself. But demand is very strong. This thing, delinquency is also well under control, well within single 1%. You have to keep an eye on your quality of underwriting. Once you do that, I think the prospects are quite bright.
वी स्पोक अबाउट मार्केट्स, लेकिन अब रामदेव मैं आपसे जो एक दूसरा मुद्दा जिसका ओवरहैंग इस समय मार्केट पर भी है और इंडिया इंक पर भी, उसकी बात करना चाहूँगा. टाटा ग्रुप, बॉम्बे हाउस से जिस तरह की खबरें आ रही हैं, जिस तरह से मिस्टर साइरस मिस्त्री वॉज सैक्ड इफेक्टिवली फ्रॉम हिज पोजीशन, इस पूरे घटनाक्रम पर आपका व्यू क्या है?
Yeah, so it's sad. I mean, we still hold them in a great respect, and that ultimately value system of the group will be beyond any individual. I mean, the current chairman or the past chairman, outgoing or incoming, the values they hold are too dear to anything. I mean, that's what has kept them going for more than 100 years, and I'm quite sure that will prevail over everything else. So, this is a test of time for the values to be tested. I mean, only in bad time you test the values. So this is a kind of a mini crisis in the house, and how clean and how they preserve the values and come out giving the explanation of whatever is required. Because see, ultimately companies have huge cash flows, profits, and market caps, and genuine assets are there. So there could be some stress here and there, and it's a matter of opinion, accounting, and all those kind of things. But I think the way things are being conducted or has turned out to be, that's a bit shocking, and probably it could have been handled a little differently. But finally, I'm quite sure on a 5-year, 7-year basis, the company's prices, it might be impacted right now, but eventually it will be decided by what the companies do. I mean, if TCS does very well, I think these things will be a passing kind of a remark.
रामदेव, आपने देखा इनफैक्ट द वे मिस्टर मिस्त्री वाज ऑपरेटिंग पिछले 4 साल में, उनकी जो स्ट्रैटेजी थी कि जो नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट्स हैं या फिर बिजनेसेस विच वर नॉट डिलीवरिंग, ही वांटेड टू डू अवे विद देम एंड मे बी फोकस ऑन द कैश जनरेटिंग कंपनीज, चाहे वो स्टील सेगमेंट में हो, होटल सेगमेंट में हो, वेरियस अदर सेगमेंट्स. क्या ये गलत थी स्ट्रैटेजी? व्हाट्स योर टेक?
See, as far as one of the thing is that you do the investment looking at the future. Okay, so you need to have a vision. But when you appraise it after 5 years, we are going with the hindsight. So these are two different things. The investments were made in the first decade, looking at whatever was the global situation, commodity situation, whatever was the opportunity. Okay, now after everything is behind, in 2012, 13, 14, 15, you have to, if you have committed mistake in the past, you have to correct it, isn't it? So there would have been some mistakes, and now the current chairman or whoever is the chairman, his job is to correct that mistake and get on to doing more investments wherever he feels right, and take the group forward. So it's a part and parcel of the game that you come in all the investments. Some are right, some are wrong. But even in the corporate investment, your downside is 1x, but upside is multiple x, isn't it? So if one company is right, $1 billion can become 10, 20, $30 billion. But $5 billion of investment going down the tube, it's fine.
लास्ट क्वेश्चन टू यू रामदेव, अगर ये क्राइसिस और एक्सटेंड होता है, जिसके अभी तो इंडिकेशंस हैं, और टाटा ग्रुप के स्टॉक्स में और गिरावट आती है, वुड यू रेकमेंड बाइंग इनटू देम या फिर थोड़ा रुकना चाहिए?
No, I would not recommend any investor this thing, because investors themselves know. If they think something is worth 600 rupees, it is available for 500 rupees or 400 rupees, obviously it becomes more attractive to buy.
Right. Right.
But I am quite sure that longer term prospect of any of these companies are completely unaffected by the current doings.
ऑलराइट सर, चलिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ इस बातचीत में शामिल होने के लिए. थैंक्स फॉर जॉइनिंग.